Welcome, everybody, and thank you for listening to the Better Bushcraft podcast, the place where you'll learn the skills to succeed on your next outdoor adventure. My name is Tommy Clark, your host, and this is episode 12, Contest Winner and Entries. Before we begin into today's topic, which is me going over the different entries that I received for the contest that we had this month, or actually last month, I want to go over a couple things that are going on here at Better Bushcraft. First up, I'm making some new videos for you guys. I know it's been quite some time before I actually put out some new videos, so I'm working on those, trying to figure out the different series that I'm going to do, and hopefully shoot some more videos and get those edited and put up on YouTube as well as the website. I'm planning on going bushcrafting soon, and trying to work that out with my buddy and figure out what are some of the things and skills that I want to record to show you guys different ideas and practices that you can do to further your skills of bushcrafting. Everything from fire making to wild edibles is something that I'm really getting into, and things of that nature. So bear with me, guys, as I keep on figuring out what to put out there. And if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see, be sure you send me an idea. And like always, you could do that by sending me an email to idea@betterbushcraft.com. But like I said, I'm working on a couple different video series. That way there'll be like a series of wild edibles, and I'd post maybe half a dozen or so different things to look for in the field for that. You know, the fire making one, everything from different natural fire starters to use to techniques of building a fire and shelter building, all that stuff. So my idea is to group them all into each individual mini-series. That way it kind of stays along the same lines, and you guys get an idea of different techniques and skills that you can use in each of those. So I'm really excited about those, and I will be posting those shortly. Just it's all about getting out there and having a cameraman and doing all that, as well as the weather has been pretty crazy here, so trying to work with that as well. But they will be up here soon, and I'm going to have more articles along the lines that way too. But for now, that's all I have for the intro. And this podcast might be a little bit shorter than usual, just because I'm kind of doing it, just on a whim. I found a couple hours right now, so I'm trying to record and edit it and post it up real soon for you guys. So anyways, like I said, today's podcast is all about the contest, and including the winner and some of the entries that I received. I'm not going to read them all, but I got a really good response from this contest, so it's pretty exciting, and makes me really want to start up this next contest this month as well. And a little bit about that right away. I'm going to be doing an April contest, which will be number 2, and haven't really decided what the contest is going to be, but it's going to be a little bit more in depth, but not too much. I believe everybody should be able to do it and send in their contest entry, and hopefully have a lot of people sign up for that one as well, since this one went really great. So anyways, the contest that I did in March was all about sending me an email, and in the email I asked you to explain of what your favorite piece of gear is and why. Just depending on what it was. I had different people sending in some really great pictures of their gear and why they believe that it's their favorite piece of kit, and a couple stories with them and stuff like that. And I got a wide range of different entries of different things, which I was really pleased to see. They weren't all just, my knife or whatever, which was great too. But so I'm going to read a few of the contest emails that I received, just to give you guys an idea of what I got. And I think I'm also going to post the pictures on my website as well. so that you guys can see some of the things that were entered. But really easy contest. I mean, that I kind of made it that way so a lot of people could participate, and had a great response for it. So anyways, the contest winner, let's start with that. Let me pull up the emails real quick. And my contest winner is Ron. Ron sent me a pretty amusing email and a cool little picture of his piece of kit that he sent me. But he kind of got my attention just because of one certain thing. Ron's email said, "This is my favorite bushcraft item. A friend made this for me in 1984 to hold Dungeons and Dragons dice." And he says to stop laughing. And I was chuckling pretty good because, I don't know, the whole idea of Dungeons and Dragons to me is pretty amusing. I guess it was a pretty popular game. It might still be. I just picture a lot of people, with that cool little, 12-sided, 20-sided dice or whatever it was, playing the game. But anyways, he said it's now dedicated to holding a fire kit. And in this kit, he said he holds steel wool, a Bic lighter, mag ball, cotton balls, and jute twine. And he said he also uses his Leatherman every day, and his Becker is too fun. But just that the fact that this pouch had lasted so long made it my favorite. Made in 1984, and he puts, "Yep, I'm over 18." First of all, the Becker that he mentioned, I'm guessing it's a Becker BK2. He didn't really specify, but awesome knife. I can't complain with that either. And he also says he uses his Leatherman every day, so I'm sure that's a part of his EDC everyday carry kit. But Leathermans are also really handy, more so than you would think. You can use I mostly use my Leatherman out in the field just to pull away my cook pots and stuff like that because I don't want to burn my hands. But anyways, the entry that he sent me and the picture that he sent me was of his bag that he holds his fire kit in. And I'm going to post this on my website, but the picture is pretty cool. It's a neat little bag. It's like a tan color, and it's pretty neat. It looks like it's pretty robust. It's got to be if it lasted since 1984. That's 28 years ago. I know this because that's when I was born. But anyways, so that kind of won him the contest just because I was thinking this is something that has lasted for a long time. And, I don't know how often it gets abused and stuff, but just the fact that it's something that's been a part of him for that long, and it's lasted, and it looks like it's in great shape. It's even got a cool little emblem. I don't know if it's burned in there or what, but it's got a cool little emblem in there too. But so that kind of just rang a bell with me because when I'm building my kits, I'm thinking of something that's going to last. A lot of things, you could buy that's either cheaply made or just not made for the type of use it's going to get. A lot of times things break down and stuff. So personally, when I think of my kits, I think, is this going to last me a long time? Is it going to do the job it needs to? Is it going to hold up in the field? So obviously this bag has done so. And a part of his fire kit sounds really cool. If it was me, I would add a fire still in there. I didn't see anything. It might be a part of his mag bar as well, but I'd get a larger fire still. But besides that, he's got everything he needs to start a fire in many different situations. The steel wool, maybe you can add a 9-volt battery or something in there as well. But as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty cool. But the fire kit itself was not his entry, it was the bag. So anyways, Ron, I'm going to be sending you your prize here real quick. And I have his email or his address, and I'm going to send it to him, and hopefully he enjoys what he won. And he can even write, if you want to write in and let everybody know what it was and how you're liking it, that'd be great too. And I can post that up on the website as well on the podcast. So anyways, Ron is our first contest winner, so congratulations. But what I wanted to do is read some of the other ones that I received that were really cool, just to give you an idea of what other things were submitted. So Vincent, he sent me an email as well. And Vincent says that he knows that his pick will not win with all the fancy packs and more expensive equipment, but he wanted to share it with me anyways. He said, I have a lot of work to do on my kit. I am new to bushcraft and have been practicing in my own backyard in the fire pit. I'm going to stop right there. That's a great place to start. That's where I started, just in the backyard, figuring out different things. And I'm glad that he is starting bushcraft because it's one of the coolest things to be involved in. He says, you have really inspired me to get more involved, and I'm glad to hear you will be making more podcasts and videos. And I appreciate those kind words, Vincent. And, I'm just here as a voice. Everybody that submits stuff to me inspires me to keep going and make more videos. So it's kind of reciprocated between us, which is what Better Bushcraft is all about. But anyways, the first pick that he sent me was of a small kit, and he says, I take it outside with me and then don't allow myself to go back in the house until a fire is made. That is a great thing to do. That way you can keep on practicing your skill until you get it. But he said the bag is one of the special parts of my kit. He says he's a former Marine and found this during a field training exercise in Japan. That's really cool. He says, I've not seen another bag from the military similar to this one. He said, below this is my Mora clipper with a custom Kydex sheath. I love the Mora. I really do. But anyways, he says, it has some Ranger bands on it and a magnetized needle taped to the inside. Really awesome to use as a compass. I'm going to be putting a video of that as well. And he says his second picture that he sent me is of the kit unpacked. It says it has gloves, Ziploc bags, lip balm, hand sanitizer, a waterproof stuff sack, a tea light candle wrapped in foil. And he says he also has his Altoids tin with fire starting gear, duct tape, electrical tape around the plastic cards, foil. He also has a whistle, Ranger bands, and an Altoid small tin I use to make char cloth, and a picture of the Kydex sheath. The sheath is really nice with the ring on it. It allows my knife to be on my side and swivel when I sit or kneel. It never gets in the way. So that is awesome. It is that paragraph was just packed with a whole bunch of great ideas to carry. I fully back each one of his pieces of kit. I understand why he's bringing them. I mean, lip balm itself can be used a lot of different ways. Hand sanitizer can be used as a disinfectant, and also if it's a high enough alcohol, it can be used to burn. But anyways, he has a lot of great stuff, so if that gives you guys some ideas, that would be awesome. I definitely recommend you take his ideas. And then the last thing he says, the third pick is just my Altoids kit and what I have so far. Has duct tape on the inside lid, strike anywhere matches with candle wax on the heads. That's awesome because waterproof. It's awesome. Anyways, he also says he has a match striker, a Fresnel lens, cotton balls with Vaseline wrapped in the foil, striker and rod, a jute twine, razor blade, and plastic case from the Fresnel lens. I keep my char cloth inside the Fresnel lens case along with some alcohol pads. That is a great idea there too. Making the char cloth and the actual tin that you use something makes it a multi-purpose item. Not only are you holding your stuff together, you could also use that tin as something to make extra stuff. So really great idea. He says, all this stuff goes inside my small stuff sack to waterproof and then in my cinch sack from Japan. I hope you enjoy all the feedback you get from the contest and would appreciate any feedback on what you would add. Then he says, Semper Fi, Vincent. So, wow, you have a lot of stuff in there, Vincent, and just off the top of my head, I think you covered most of your bases, especially for the fire kit. You know, there's always extra things to bring just depending on what other stuff you carry, maybe like a small sharpener rod for your knife and things of that nature. But I mean, if you just had that kit that you have, that's really great starting point of covering all your bases. So if any of you guys have any ideas and suggestions of things that he can add to his kit, I'd appreciate your feedback, and I'll post it on the website as well as bring it up in a future podcast. But I think I'm going to post his pictures up on the site as well, just because, I mean, it looks really cool. He has some great stuff. The pictures are great, and the bag that he has is really neat. I would like to get my hands on one of those too. But really awesome entry, Vincent, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to go over one more just to give you guys an idea of the different things that I received. So first off, like I said, Ron sent me his fire kit bag, and then Vincent sent me the pictures of his different kits. And I'm going to go over one more just because I thought it was pretty neat. And this one was from Jody, and he said that his favorite piece of gear and my best piece, and when he showed me, he did a self-portrait shot, a headshot really, of himself. And he said, the knowledge I have is the best tool I have. What I know is priceless. Without my knowledge, my tools are worthless. Without my knowledge, adapting tools to do a job won't happen. So I thought that was really neat. He came very close to winning it, so appreciate that, Jody. And it's true, because we can have all the gear that we want. You know, we can have our bags just loaded down with all this cool stuff, but if you don't have the knowledge to use them and use them properly, then it's pretty much useless. I mean, yeah, if you had a lighter, it's obvious, you know, you could probably light a fire, but a lot of the other things that you need to have multiple steps to be able to use that piece of kit effectively is your knowledge. So I thought that was really neat, and I appreciate your entry, Jody, because it really goes to show that knowledge is really our number one tool in a lot of situations. So anyways, that was just a kind of a glimpse of the types of contest entries that I got, and some of you might be saying, dang, I wish I would have sent something in. Well, you can in our next contest, which is coming up this month, and I'll be sending a broadcast email about that here within the next week or so. So if you want to get in on the next contest, make sure you're signed up for my newsletter. It's free, really easy. Just go to the website, type in your first name and your email address, and then confirm that, and then you'll be able to receive my broadcast email about the next contest. So that's it over the contest, and I really appreciate everything you guys did and all the cool entries. So I'm just going to cover a couple things that I threw in here. First thing I want to talk about, since it is spring, and I did kind of touch on this earlier last podcast, I was talking about wild edibles. Couple things that I'm trying this weekend, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing here. I'm going to be trying out some wild onions and dandelions. A lot of that stuff is growing around my house, as well as where I go to Bushcraft. You know, a lot of patches of wild onion and tons of dandelions. So, you know, I've tried the dandelions before, and man, it's really bitter, at least to me, straight up. But I found some cool recipes to fry them up, make little fritters, and you can also use the young leaves as a part of your salads and stuff like that, as well as the wild onions. I've heard people put them in, you know, like when they're cooking their meats, they kind of throw them in there, give it a little bit of flavor. You can roast them, do all sorts of cool stuff. So that's what I'm going to try out this week. And you can find really cool recipes online if you just go to like YouTube or Google and type in wild onion recipes or dandelion recipes, and you'll find some really cool stuff. So I'm going to try those out this weekend, and I may post them on the website to show you how it went. But if you're not really sure about the things that are growing in your area, what's edible, what's not, all you got to do is Google it. You know, just put in your state and wild edibles, and you're sure to find a lot of great resources of finding things in your area to eat. So never stop learning about that stuff. You may not have to depend on it, but it's really kind of fun to add that element to bushcrafting. So that's what I'm doing here. And another little thing that I'm going to add is something that I noticed in my little Altoids kit. I checked it over, and I noticed that my little saw that I keep in there is really rusted, and I figured out why. It's because I carry iodine tablets in there, and all I did was put them in a little Ziploc baggie and put them in there, and I thought it'd be fine, but yeah, it's definitely rusting out my tin and also my saw. So make sure you don't store them around metals. You really should try to keep them in that little vial that they come in, and that's something that I never really thought of too much before now. So I'm gonna have to go and buy some more and just keep them in that vial. But it kind of goes along the lines of just make sure you're checking the expiration on all your gear, especially if you didn't do much over the winter and you're now ready to go out, start bushcrafting in the nice weather. Just check the expiration on your stuff, your foods, all your dry goods and stuff. Make sure that they're still in date, as well as like your water purification tablets. You're supposed to switch those out every year once you open them up, so make sure you do that. And all the other stuff that could be perishable, just make sure you check them out. Make sure that you're good to go, so you're not out bushcrafting. You're like, dang, this thing's expired. I don't know if I want to use this or not. It could be still good, but why risk it? So take a little time beforehand and replenish your stock. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to wrap it up here. I had a couple more things to cover, but I think I'm going to throw them in the next podcast. So anyways, guys, make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you can be on the next on the next contest. And like I said, I'm going to be posting up more videos and articles hopefully starting this week. So anyways, guys, go out there and bushcraft. The weather is beautiful now. It's perfect bushcrafting season. And make sure you take a friend and teach some people a couple skills so that they can be more involved in bushcraft as well. So all right, well, you guys take care. Until next time, just go out there and have some fun.